Morning, welcome back. Today we'll be jumping into all the games on the AYANEO. Start with the letter D. So here, let's just load up the list. Alright. So you can see we're gonna be playing a fair few number of games today. And since Dune's up here, we'll start with that. And we'll just increase the watts here to 15. And we'll jump into the first Doom and then Doom Eternal. Just gonna wait for the game to start here. Actually, while it's starting, I'm going to load up MSI Afterburner. Just so we can get some frames. Apologies for moving about the screen. I'm just trying to get it into the right position so that you can see it properly. Alright, so we're in the game now. You can see the FPS counter over here. And we're just going to jump into this slot since I'm going to choose one of the later levels. But first I'm going to show you video settings. So main thing you need to know is vertical sync-off, FXAA, and field of view is 90. And if you go into advanced here, main thing you need to change is your graphics API from OpenGL to Vulkan. And then light quality, medium, shadows low, turn off self shadows, medium, anisotropic 2x, medium, turn off compute shaders, motion blur quality medium, turn off depth of field, you can turn on. However, I think that it doesn't really make a difference on the screen, the size, and I mean you can turn on if you want, it doesn't really eat that many frames, but yeah. Rendering mode, just leave it to default. You can change it if you want, but I found that these settings usually work best. So I'm just gonna go to mission select here, and let's choose Micropolis. Okay, one of the hell levels. It's gonna show a certain level of complexity in the environment. So once we jump into the game, you should see quite a stable frame rate, hovering around 60 frames. So, yeah. Might dip into the high 50s sometimes. But generally, you should expect to see 60 frames consistently in this game. Apologies for the crappy gameplay, I'm not really You can see we're getting a couple of dips below 60, but still very stable. Hopefully that's giving you an idea of how the game runs. Also gives you an idea of how the depth of field doesn't really matter when you're playing it at this resolution and on the screen size. Alright, we're just going to jump out here and run some Doom Eternal. Go back, play. So we're still at 15 watts, and the performance in Doom Eternal is very comparable to the original Doom. You will get a few more dips than you would in the original Doom, but you should get a consistent 60 most of the time without much issue. So I'm just gonna go into settings and we're gonna go to video. So full screen, vertical sync off, field of view 90, motion blur high. Alright, so performance metrics off, render mode. Let's render mode. Alright, yeah, that's just the colors. Where's your settings? Alright. Texture pool size high, shadow quality low, medium, 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 lights quality low, medium, medium, water quality low, medium, 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 chromatic aberration on. You can sharpen it a little bit if the graphics bother you. I would not bother. Resolution scaling mode dynamic. It's gonna lower and increase the resolution as needed. Most of the time it'll look really, really good. But yeah, I'm just gonna jump into the game here. So generally you'll see between 50 and 60 frames. A couple of times might drop a little bit, like 48 frames, but most of the time it's gonna keep to this level. Again, excuse my crappy gameplay. It's not intentional. I just don't find first-person shooters to be very comfortable on the AYANEO. I kind of prefer games like Assassin's Creed or whatever. So, micro missiles. Always go for the micro missiles. Wish they hit them like they did before. Ah, crap. Oh crap, I'm gonna die. Great. Okay, well. Yep. Well, hopefully that shows you how the game runs. So I'm just gonna exit out here. No matter what, it annoys the crap out of me. most of the time it works fine. Just sometimes it just decides I'm gonna be a butt about it. Alright, so I'm just gonna go into settings here. So, okay, so this is one of those games that you have to make sure that it runs in full screen and not borderless. I don't know why, don't ask me, but for some reason borderless has a huge effect on the frame rate. I'm just gonna turn anti-aliasing off, because for some reason the game seems to be acting up. And I'm gonna load up the game again. Should work fine now. Wow, okay. Apparently doesn't like it for whatever reason. Just gonna load it up again. I swear I don't know why the game's acting up. It was working perfectly fine earlier and then turn on right now and it suddenly decides, ooh, I don't want to work. There we go, finally. Alright, so you can see basically 60 frames. Game's running fine. Even with anti-aliasing off, not much of a difference. I'll say this is one of those games where I'd say don't pay attention to the frame counter, because despite what the counter says, this game feels 60 frames. And just repeating, I'm running this at 5 watts. If it really concerns you, what you're seeing on the frame time counter, you can run it at 11 watts and you'll hit a consistent 60. For me, I usually even play this game with anti-aliasing on. I never have a problem with it. I don't know why it's decided to act up today, but it is what it is. Game's being a bit of a diva. It's fine. The reason why I loaded up Devil May Cry 3 rather than 1 is because if you play Devil May Cry 1, at least in the starting level, you have to go through a certain amount of hoops in order to get the first enemies to attack you. I just didn't want to deal with it for this video. Kind of wanted to just jump into the action so you can have a look at how everything looks. Yeah. You can see here, running at 60, extremely stable, graphically looks great. No problems whatsoever. Alright, I'm just gonna exit out of here. So, just to remind you guys, go into settings, do not run this game on borderless. For some reason, the game doesn't like being run on borderless. If you run on borderless, you're gonna hit 30 frames. I don't know why, it just happens. Okay. Hey, so what do? When you run into a situation where a game doesn't work, you restart and try your luck with it then. Which is what we're gonna do now. There we go. Alright, we're in. So, let's go to load up the game here. Go into options. And I'm going to show you my preferred graphics settings here. So, 1280-800, borderless window. This Devil May Cry game, it seems to work fine. Running method normal. You do have the option of going to interlaced, which does increase your FPS, but I wouldn't recommend it. The hit to the graphical quality is kind of huge. Everything starts to look ugly, so I wouldn't recommend it. Resolution scaling 100, medium, TAA, motion blur off, effects quality medium, shadow quality low, shadow cache off, off. Screen trace, reflections variable, substance scattering variable, and chromatic aberration on. So essentially we're running on medium settings with low shadows, and might be surprised to know this game will actually run mostly at 60 frames. At 15 watts it will run at 60 frames per second most of the time. Pay no attention to the frame rate in the menus. Once you get in game, the game will run at a stable 60. Just gonna load. Also pay no attention to the slowdown in the cutscenes. So, since you're seeing the dips here, might have you a bit worried. But, once we jump into actual gameplay, just going to choose Nero here. Yep. Mission start. Again, we're hitting 30s over here. Second we're in the mission, mostly 60. Skip that. Yep, couple of dips below 60 to 50 frames. Once you're playing the actual game, game looks great, runs at 60, super smooth, absolutely no issues. Don't know if you guys can see the little details, particle effects, stuff dropping off, body of the enemies. Looks great to my eyes, honestly. Good about the performance of next-gen consoles on this. I'd say that's way worth it. Alright, just gonna exit out of here. Now we've covered the Devil May Cry and Doom games. Gonna jump into our next game, which is Dragon Quest XI. So we're gonna do 11 watts for Dragon Quest XI. Just gonna jump in here. So this is one of those games that's not gonna hit a constant 60. But thankfully we don't have to, because this game's an RPG. Doesn't have to hit a constant 60. Instead, we're gonna hit around upper 30s, lower 40s. And I'm just gonna show you the settings here. So we got anti-aliasing 1, post-processing 1, shadow quality 1. You can set this to none, but I found that the game looks significantly worse if you do that, so just set it to 1. Screen percentage 90. Makes no difference in how it looks, helps your frame rate a little bit. So continue my adventure here. So at 11 watts, let's see. Couple of dips in crowded areas. Honestly, it's not that bad, but you're gonna hit high 30s, low 40s most of the time. This is the typical highs that you're gonna see. And again, if the frame rate bothers you that much, you can always lock it to 30, call it a day. Switch version runs at 30, so you'll have a comparable version on your handheld PC as well. Graphically, it looks great. At least in my opinion. Beautiful game though. I should put some time in to play it a little bit more, I just haven't had it. But beautiful game if you want to play it. I highly recommend it. Alright, we're just gonna exit out of here. Go to miscellaneous and exit. Hope that helps you while playing Dragon Quest XI. Just gonna jump back into the AYANEO space. And Dark Souls 3. So, Dark Souls 3 we're gonna run at 11 watts as well. I've tried running this game at 15. Honestly, I see no real difference between 11 and 15 watts in this game. Your mileage may vary, but in my opinion I see no point in increasing the watts and losing battery life for a couple of frames. I don't remember exactly what kind of frame rates I was getting. I know it was high. So let's see. Gonna show you the advanced settings here. Texture quality medium, anti-aliasing on, SSA off, depth of field low, motion blur medium, shadow quality low, lighting quality medium, fixed quality medium, reflection low, water surface low, shade quality medium. You can turn anti-aliasing off, but I found it helps the excuse me, a bit of a sneeze there. I found that it helps the graphical quality. Yes, this is one of the issues when playing the game. You need to type in your name. Unfortunately, there's no real way to do this that I've found without using a keyboard. So you guys will have to figure out how to do that. Once that's done, come on, focus, there you go. When that's done, just gonna skip this here. Should find the game to run quite stable around 30. Alright. I think maybe it needs to run at 15. Much better. So you're gonna have to run at 15 to get slightly better performance, because I think that it's a bit too much for this game. Let's see, what can we lower? Yeah, lower that, and that should be fine. So if you lower that, you should get more consistent frames without losing too much graphical quality. You can pause the ooh, got some hitches there. You can pause the video later. I'm not an oh shoot, there's a guy over there. Not an avid Dark Souls player, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm playing like crap. This game really isn't my forte. But we're getting a stable 30. A little more than that most of the time. Graphically looks good. Fortunately, you're not going to be able to hit a consistent 60 with this. This is not possible. I mean, you could find some settings somewhere that allow you to do that, but with the vanilla launcher, I don't see Dark Souls 3 running any better than that. So Dark Souls 3, 15 watts, about 40 frames. Okay. Should we jump into Dishonored 2? I'm actually going to increase it to 15 watts again. Again, this game, a lot of fun. And hopefully you'll be able to see. We're going to be running it now at a near consistent 60 at 15 watts. I think we could even get away with 11 watts, although I'm not sure. I'll try and lower it to 11 watts once we get in the game. So, visuals, borderless full screen. Here I can actually show you what happens if you run certain games in full screen. You can see the screen. I mean, it is running, but the text is looking a bit garbled when in full screen. But if I run it in borderless full screen, text suddenly looks clear. So keep that in mind. Quality settings: medium, medium, medium. Water details low. Medium, 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 medium. Fog quality low. FXAA low. And you can turn this stuff off in order to get a few more frames. I found it's fine. Resync off. Adaptive resolution always. Adaptive resolution target 60. Adaptive resolution quality balanced. And that's about it. Just gonna keep the settings as they are. And gonna jump into where I was in the game before. And hopefully should see a consistent 60. I'm actually gonna try it at 11. You can see we're hitting it's actually good that it started here, so see how the game runs on the city streets. You can see we're doing pretty well, even 11 watts, but if we increase it to 15, it's gonna run, alright, high 50s, closer to 60. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I haven't played a single game at 20 watts yet. Every single game has been played up to 15 watts. Like I said before, don't really need more than 15 watts to play a lot of games on this handheld. I haven't played this game for a while, I'm not sure where to go, but I'm gonna try and make my way here. So we are getting a couple of dips. Still running pretty well. Keep in mind, most of the settings are at medium. If I put it on low, it should run more of a consistent 60. Ooh. Don't worry about the frame rate. It's just because we got a lot of enemies. Most of this game is meant to be played in stealth anyways, so. We've run out of bullets. Ooh, and that. Cool. Alright, so I'm just gonna quit here. Back to desktop. Gives you an idea of how Dishonored 2 runs. Disco Elysium. Yeah, this is one of those games that's gonna reveal a couple of issues. This game is not very optimized. So at 15 watts, you're gonna get about 30 to 40 frames. I think. I'm actually gonna go into options and show you what I've done here. Vital effects medium, anti-aliasing off, dynamic shadows on. I should probably leave it off, but it does help with the atmosphere of the game. Shader quality modest, and that's about it. Yeah. So you can see at 15 watts we're hitting kinda 60. 11 watts, still hitting kinda 60. But the performance in this game is just weird. And to be honest, this game is not made to be played with a controller. You actually need a mouse to properly play this game. Hitting all these icons with a controller is kind of impossible. So having a mouse to play this game is great, or just using the touchscreen is way preferable. So if you want to play this game, I'd highly suggest using the touchscreen rather than playing it with the gamepad. But yeah, you can play through the whole game at 11 watts with the settings I showed. Again, generally just come on, to medium, off, on, modest. You'll be fine. Alright, coming out of Disco Elysium. Jump back into the airspace. We're gonna load up Death Space, 11 watts. This game runs great. Consistently around 60 frames without any issues. Pretty sure we're at high detail. But can have a look once we're in game. Options, visuals, resolution full screen, VSync off, graphic quality high, advanced settings, everything on. That's high, yep. Can choose new game. Actually, can I load a game? Do I have anything? No, I don't. Alright. So I'm just gonna show you the starting cutscene so that you can have an idea of how the game looks. Once we're in the game, the frame counter should jump up to 60. We're at 11 watts right now. Just gonna adjust the screen a little bit while I'm waiting for this to fix itself because I'm having a slight issue showing everything. So yeah, there we go, that looks better.
How many times you watched that thing? Guess you really miss her. Don't worry, we're almost there.
I actually expected the frame rate to be a little bit more. That's weird. Ah, that's pretty much what I expected. Yeah.
You'll be able to look her up what's wrong for it.
So we're running at 117 frames per second.
All this trouble over that chunk of rock.
Space mining is a lucrative business, Ms. Daniels. Each is 7 is gold mine according to prospectors' reports. Cobalt, silicon, osmium. Now, where is she? There she is. We have visual contact.
So that's Ishimura.
The USG Ishimura. Biggest planet cracker in her class. And it looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it all dark? I don't see any running lights.
Corporal, take us in closer and hail them. And stay clear of that debris field. We're here to fix their ship, not the other way around.
USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kelvin responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura.
You're gonna need to boost the signal if the power's low.
Hope that gives you an idea of how the game looks. Super smooth. 11 watts, always running above 60. You resync it, it'll run. I'm not sure why it's running at about 30. It should run at 60, but anyways.
What is that?
It's a busted array like we thought. Sounds like they're having problems with their encoder. You get us down there and Isaac and I can fix it. 48 hours max.
Alright, you heard the lady. Take us in. Let's see what needs fixing.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automatic docking procedure.
Just gonna let the game run for a second.
What the hell? Sir, the auto dock. What is it? We're off track. We're gonna hit the hole. Hit the blast shields. That guidance tail is damaged. Switch to manual. Now.
Inside the magnetic field? Are you insane? Abort!
No! We can make it inside. Corporal, gave you an order. The field's too strong. Is everyone okay?
Played this game like twice already.
Are you trying to get us killed?
I just saved our asses, Ms. Daniels. If we had aborted at that speed and distance, we'd have smashed right into the side issue. Settle down. Let's get to work. Corporal,
I'm not getting any
Oop.
readings from the port booster, and we've lost comms and autopilots. It'll take some time to
all right.
fix.
Let's get some extra hands from flight deck to help out.
Hold still, Isaac. I'm syncing up everyone's rig with the ship. Okay, we're done. Clean bill of health for everyone.
All right. We've still got a job to do. We're moving out.
Anyways, that's been running game for a few minutes. It's hard to play this game looking at the camera, but yeah. Alright, I'm gonna exit out of here. I think that gives you a good idea of how the game's gonna run at 11 watts. So I'm just gonna jump back here. And next game we're gonna run is Death's Door. Haven't played this game a lot, but did get a huge recommendation on my Steam list, so decided to get it. Probably gonna play it eventually, but for now, have a look at the graphic settings. Except for reflections and VSync and ambient occlusion, everything else is on, and the game looks good. So we're running it at 11 watts. I think game runs pretty much at 60. This is just the beginning of the game. So if I try and run it at 5 watts, you can see the frame rate kind of dips quite a bit. But if you run it at 11, it runs at a comfortable 60 without any issues. It's the kind of game the AYANEO was made for. It's fantastic. Really looking forward to playing this when I get the time. Looks fantastic. Alright. I'm just gonna quit the game because you can see that the game runs quite well at 11 watts, and we're gonna jump into Days Gone. So at 15 watts, once we jump into the game, I think you'll be able to see. As far as I remember, this game, as long as I run it at my preferred settings, it does run close to 60 frames. I don't know why it's doing that, but sure, if I go into settings and change it to full screen, should run fine. Alright, go into options and let's see, display. Got windowed for whatever reason. Let's try full screen windowed, and yeah. Alright. So, graphical settings. Let's try full screen. Nope. Alright, full screen windows it is. Graphical settings, field of view 85. You can increase it to 90, it doesn't make a difference, but on the screen this small, it's fine. Render scale 100. Chromatic aberration on, motion blur off, medium, fully draw distance low, shadow quality low, cloud fog quality low, texture field quality medium, texture zoom quality medium. The rest is what it is. Just gonna continue the game here. If I'm right, this should run close to 60 once we're in. It's gonna wait for this game to load. More of a 30 here. It's weird. Well, she thought I'd get a 60 frames game, but yeah, 30 is okay as well. I think I just got mistaken and he was vibrating for no reason. Let's see. Can I turn off the vibration? No, the game doesn't let me turn off vibration. Vibration off. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Vibration's off. Excellent. So 15 watts, we're getting a stable 30. Wait, what's the mission? I'm confused. I'm gonna restart the checkpoint. I thought we were supposed to chase and shoot that guy. There we go. Oh, I get it. I get why. I thought it ran at 60. Initially, I was running it in windowed mode at a low resolution 1960 by 480, and that was giving it close to 60 frames of performance, which is an option, mind you. I mean, let's see, if I run it at windowed at 640 480, well, slightly more, I think, 540, and do that. Wait, hold on, what's the thing? Yep, you can see the frame rate just jumped. But if you run it at full screen windowed, 1280-800, gonna get close to 30 frames. Alright, I need to look at the thing before it'll go.
Wait, here. Down this way. Tracks are fresh. So where the hell do you learn to track shit anyway? Just a little help.
Obviously, you'll get some dips once you come through the zombie horde later on in the game. So, would be a good idea to lower the settings at that time. But generally, traversing the world, combat, this is the... God, just move on. This is the type of performance you can expect. I'm actually going to try something while I'm here. Since I've done Windows full screen mode, I'm going to lower it to 540p. Alright. So if you're lowering performance to 540p, you'll get a slightly softer image, but you'll get more consistent frame rates. Just a tip.
Hey, hold up. I'm gonna search this camp, see if I can find something to fix up this crash.
It's up to you if it's something you want to do or not. I generally find the game to be quite playable at this resolution, so that would be my recommendation. Keep it at full screen windowed, 540p, 960 540 with the suggested settings here, and the game should run fine throughout without any issues. I mean, to my eyes, yes, the image is softer. You're not getting the pinpoint sharpness and everything, but at this screen size, it doesn't really matter. Gameplay is king, and it'll still run great. Alright, we're gonna quit out of the game here. Go back to the AYANEO space. Alright. And we're gonna load up last few games on our list. Never loaded this game before, should run at 11 watts. Supposed to be a really good point and click game. Again, probably have a preference playing this on the touchscreen. I'm using a mouse, but can use a touchscreen to play this. Still run great. Apparently it's one of those games where you jump through time to prevent an apocalyptic event. I'll show you how to skip this though. Escape, yeah, there's an escape button here.
Wake up, Michael. Come on, you have to wake up.
Who are you? Damn it. Where are you? What's happening?
There we go. So we're running at quite a high frame rate, but if I lower it to 5 watts, would it still run fine? Yeah, still running fine. Okay, so this is one of those games that you can run at 5 watts without any issues. Just gonna skip through this dialogue here, and then exit out of the game. But yeah, that kind of tells you how the game runs. Should be fine at 5 watts. So this video is running pretty long. And I'm actually just gonna do this. Right. Okay. Just gonna load up Disgea at 5 watts. See how it runs. I mean, it should run fine. So, full screen on, VSync off, shadow normal, window mode. Yep. So right now we're at 40. Let's see how it goes once we're in the game. We're running at 5 watts right now.
His long reign came to an abrupt end as the news of his death spread throughout the dark land. Ambitious demons rose one after another to seize the opportunity. And thus began the age of turbulence and anarchy. 2 years later,
Oh, that's problematic. Okay. Alright. So we're definitely running this at 11 watts.
Anyways. Well, are you sure you weren't? No. What? You better have a good. Oh yeah. Big news. You're what? 2 years ago. Wait a sec. So you're telling me that I? Yep. Yup. What did? Excuse me, but what if the Netherworld has gone? It's not my fault if some other what? Have they from? How bold of them! Your humble vassal.
Alright, should be jumping into the game now.
Prince of the Netherworld.
You can see once we're in the game, we're running at 60. For some reason, I was getting. Ooh, that screen tearing. I haven't seen that in a while. Let's see. Alright, probably one of those games where you need VSync on. But yeah, 11 watts, this guy up. With VSync on, most other settings on. Does fine. Shadow normal, screen render off, depth field off, SSAO off, and that's about it. Gonna cut the game here. And we're gonna keep it at 11 watts. I'm actually going to skip. I'm actually going to do Dropsy at the end. I actually thought about skipping it, but might as well try and be a completionist. Gonna load up Deadlight at 11 watts. Game should run pretty much at 60 at 11 watts without much issue. Let's keep the graphical quality where it is when you start. Graphical quality is right in the middle. You can see running at a constant 60.
The wood is rotten and the planks are weakened. Seattle's safe point must be the last stronghold in all the Pacific Northwest. Anybody alive must be trying to reach it.
Oof. Made the wrong move. Need to put that generator to work instead. So when that drops down, that should break the wooden planks below. You can jump down. Anyways, that's Deadlight, as you can see. Getting a constant 60 at 11 watts. Looking good. Alright, just gonna exit game. Just letting you have another look at the video settings. So just gonna exit the game and go into the options menu and display settings. So VSync on, graphic quality right in the middle, and you should be good at 11 watts. Excellent. Alright, now that we've jumped back here, last game we're going to look at today is Dropsy. This is a 2D point-and-click adventure, which again should run fine at 5 watts. You can use a touchscreen. I'm using a mouse. It's up to you. see how the game looks at 5 watts. Gives you an idea of how it runs. Very smooth. Kind of insane. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off here. And we're gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me through this very long video today. Next time we will be jumping into the joys of the letter E. Let's see what comes up when I choose E. Come on. Come on, don't let me down. There we go. Ah, we have only 2 games. Edge of Eternity and Enslaved Odyssey to the west. Well, still something to look forward to. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. See you. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.